Study designs are of two types, which are descriptive study design and analytical study design. Descriptive study design include individual-based and population-based. Individual-based study include case report, case series, and cross-section studies, while population-based studies include ecological studies. Analytical study design include observational-based and experimental-based studies. In observation-based, we have case control, cohort, and cross-sectional studies. While experimental studies include RCTs and quasi-experimental studies. Let's see this in detail. Descriptive studies is the systematic collection and presentation of data at a single point in time to give a clear picture of a particular situation. Descriptive studies are those studies, as a result of which researchers develop hypotheses. Descriptive studies are of two types: a detailed report of an unusual unique disease or health condition by a physician or researcher in a single person is called case report. Case report must be new disease or existing disease with new pattern. Example of case report: in Germany 1959, a single case reported of congenital malformation affected limbs and digits of the population. As a result, hypothesis was developed at the time that thalidomide, which is a sleeping pill, is responsible for the development of congenital abnormalities. Case series: a detailed report of a unique disease or health condition by a physician or researcher in multiple persons is called case series. Multiple unique cases, all with the same characteristics, are explained in a published form and known as case series. Cross-sectional study is the single examination of a cross-section of a population at one point in time, the result of which can be applied to the whole population. Population-based studies. Ecological studies are those study designs in which the unit of observation is the population or community and not the individuals. Analytical studies attempts to establish association or determine risk factors for certain health conditions. This is done by comparing two or more groups, with or without the outcome of interest or exposure of interest. Observational study designs. The investigators use the data observed in the population to make inference on the relationship between the variables. The types of observational studies are: first type is cohort studies, which are the observational studies in which the researcher observed participants from exposure till the development of outcomes. In cohort studies, the researcher moved from exposure to outcome. Second is case control studies. Case control studies are observational studies in which the researchers select diseased persons and explore exposure status. In case control studies, the researcher moved from outcome to exposure. Let's take a look of experimental studies where the investigators intervene in the natural history by actively altering one of the variables and then making inference on the relationship between the variables based on the outcomes. The researcher manipulates a situation and measures the effects of the manipulation amongst two groups, one in which the intervention takes place, for example treatment with a certain drug, and another group that remains untouched. Individuals are randomly allocated to at least two groups. One group is subjected to an intervention, while the other group is not. The outcome of the intervention, that is the effect of the intervention on the dependent variable, is obtained by comparing the two groups. There are two types of experimental study designs. First, randomized control trials. A randomized control trial is a trial in which subjects are randomly assigned to one of two groups. One, the experimental group, receiving the intervention that is being tested, and the other, the comparison group or control, receiving an alternative treatment. Second is quasi-experimental studies, which is an empirical interventional study, used to estimate the causal impact of an intervention on target population without random assignment. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.